What's going on, everybody? So today this video is going to be a little bit different. I have a friend who introduced me to somebody who might need some help with their lawn. So I think they did a little lawn project in the back. They think they did pretty good overall, just from the pictures and from the visits to the site. They did really good. They just missed a couple key steps. So we're going to go over there to this yard. We're going to take a look and kind of see what we can do with the last 8 or so weeks of fall before this November kind of beginning freeze comes here in the Midwest. So let's go and let's take a look at what we're dealing with. Okay, so right now we are in the backyard. Let's take a look. At first glance, there's just a ton of different weeds that we're gonna have to treat. I've been treating over the last week. It's kind of been in a drought a little bit right now. We have had no rain, which is going to hinder the ability to kill these weeds. So I'm going to show you kind of what it looks like just with one treatment on it. There's still a lot of grass, so we're just going to take one heavy overseeding. There's some areas that we're going to have to do a seed blanket with. So it's going to be part renovation, mostly weed treatment, and then just general fall stuff. So let's take a look. So you'll see kind of a variety of different weeds here. You'll see some larger weeds, which are thistle. Over here you'll see some crabgrass that I actually sprayed last week that is kind of dying. Now the orangey spots kind of peppered in throughout the grass, that's a weed called thyme, which Momentum Q from Site 1 is going to end up killing and taking it over. So overall, it needs a good overseed back here. There's just a lot of patchiness from weeds that are dying from when I sprayed last week and just lack of growth from grass seed. So this is his front lawn, and it actually looks pretty good. It just needs some love. So it just got aerated, but if you can kind of pull back the canopy here, you'll kind of see that besides there's a couple little weeds here, just some small thistles growing, but there's just a lot of thatch that I could just kind of pull up with my hands. So we're going to give them a good dethatching as well. All right, I wanted to get some spraying done a day and a half before I ended up coming to do this project, just as one last ditch effort to get these weeds to die even more. So the chemical I used was a Site 1 chemical. It was called Momentum FX, and it will not affect overseeding or any seed germination. So I'm going to go ahead and try to clean these up, and then we will get to project day. All right, we are here. Today is project day. I've got pretty much everything I own in terms of equipment here. We're going to start with dethatching. We're going to cut it short for that. We're going to see how things look. Let's go. All right, everybody, we are about halfway done in terms of thatching, cutting low, pulling a lot of this dead stuff up that probably hasn't been pulled up in a long time. But take a look at this part of the yard. I think it's really interesting. So a lot of the weeds that this person had in their yard were broadleaf weeds, you know, some creeping thyme, some thistle, but over here were really mature crabgrass plants. And these only die with quinclorac. So those got one round of quinclorac and then another round of a light dose of it, but they browned up from just one spray of it. And you can kind of see here, I would say they're like 80% dead. What I mean by that is this plant is just about dead. Even if you pull it out, there is still some green there. So I wouldn't be completely surprised if it did come back without a second spray, but the quinclorac just completely kills crabgrass plants, which for most people who have some crabgrass in their yard, try a quinclorac product. I got mine, it's Quinway 75 from Site 1, completely does the trick. All right, we are cleaned up. I think it looks better just from the sheer fact that 4-foot high weeds aren't sticking up, so that's a good thing. We're gonna overseed this now, and we're gonna try to get down a nice barrier for that seed to hide under on the completely bare sections. I think the grass that's here is gonna just kind of hide the seed that we put down, so we're gonna just keep it wet, and hopefully we'll see germination in a week. So let's overseed. It is really hot out. All right, as you could probably soon tell, I have never used one of these seed nets before, but I see everybody having really good results with them, so here goes nothing. Okay, it's very hot out here. Let's go over feeding. So as of now, we have successfully gotten the seed blanket down. I think it worked really well. I'm gonna guess I'm covering about 1,500 square feet with that or so. So that area was the trouble area. A lot of weeds that I was able to kind of scalp, kill. So I think that I'll have good success rate with the perennial rye that I put down. So let's talk about feeding. So the front looks not too bad. I think there's just kind of a mixture of some thatch, which I was able to remove, and then it's just kind of malnourished. So I put down a basic 10-10-10 down in front. Put it down a little bit heavy. I think the bag covers 5,000 square feet. He's got roughly 4,000, so a little bit heavier of a dose. Now this side with the seed blanket, I put down just a basic Scott starter fertilizer, covers about 1,000 square feet. So for the remaining area, which is this probably 3,500 square feet total, I'm gonna just put down a simple Scott's lawn food. I bought it simply for the iron boost. I think that's what we're gonna start here. We're also gonna throw on a bag of ironite. Should cover about 5,000 square feet. It's gonna be a lighter dose. I'm gonna kind of make it spread over the course of 7,000 square feet. I'm gonna have him put another dose of nitrogen and iron in about 2.5 to 3 weeks. So that's why we're gonna go lighter on the iron. So let's put this down and then we're gonna get to our watering. All right, we are pretty much finished. I want to show everybody this makeshift sprinkler that's just turning on now. So the most important thing about seeding is we need to water it. We need to water it often. Make sure this seed never dries out. So I use the perennial ryegrass. We need it to be wet for a roughly 7 to 10 days before it germinates. So here's the backyard. We have the seed blanket down. What I did here was that he has 2 hose entry points. So I bought 2 oscillating sprinklers, extra hose, connected them to this little timer that I found on Amazon. And it really, really works well. So I'm gonna plug in my time, my zone, which I have 2 zones, and this thing will turn on every 6 hours for 15 minutes per zone. So it's a total of about 4 hours of watering a day, 2 zones in the back, 2 zones in the front. Well, I appreciate everybody watching this one. I'm really excited to see this yard grow, progress. I think that it's really going to be well with just the fertilizer, the water, and just the consistent care now that we're kind of at a starting point. The owner's really excited to take it forward from here. So thank you everybody for watching. We will see you in the next one.